So Sniperwolf has responded once again to a lawsuit, and it's legitimately crazy. Her response includes lies, drama, and for some reason chicken feet. Considering the position that she is on YouTube at the moment, why would she think this is reasonable? Because it seems that she's bought her lawyers from AliExpress. Once again, this brings up questions of Sniperwolf's character and her intentions, and mainly, what in the world was she thinking when she responded to a lawsuit with something like this? To me, this entire thing is just mental. So hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. I'm Jit Baz. We cover the weird and wonderful on the internet, and once again, after a couple of weeks hiatus, we're back on the Sniperwolf grind because she's responded to a response of a response to a lawsuit that was handled by Sausage, her ex-partner. Sorry, I'll explain a little bit better. So Sausage in 2023 ended up handing a lawsuit to Leah because she was essentially diverting funds away from him, considering that this was under a company and 50% was owned by him and the other 50% by Leah. She was going around doing backdoor deals, losing a load of money as well with all of her scandals. And basically, it just came back to bite her a bit. And this has been churning in the courts for the past couple of months. And today we're going to talk about the latest reply that Sniperwolf has given around this lawsuit situation, which, as I said, is absolutely crazy. I have videos on my channel covering the entire lawsuit from start to finish, all the responses, so you can check that in the end card, but do stick around because this one might be the worst. Because yeah, as I said, chicken feet have been mentioned in the documents. Wait, what? There's also like 10 chicken jokes embroiled in this entire thing, and it's so weird. We really do live in a dystopian world. Before I get into this, if you enjoy the video, please do hit the like button and subscribe. We're a small channel. I'd love to see you back. And this lawsuit was uncovered, and also all these responses were taken from MadCatster, so big shout out to him. Please do check out the pinned comment and see his channel. He covers it specifically from like a law standpoint, which is really interesting, and his videos are brilliant. All right, so go check him out. So what we're gonna do is make some sense of this madness. So this is a reply in support of motion to dismiss. All that means in the scope of this entire thing is that it is a response to her actual response that she put in previously that hasn't had a response from Sausage. Sorry, so many responses. And we get off to a brilliant start because the first sentence is, New York is a large city in the United States. The moon revolves around Earth. A chicken has 4 legs. I don't think I need to tell you how weird it is to put something like this in a lawsuit. Like, a lawsuit response? Like, what are you even thinking? They started with a truth, they started with a lie, and then they've also just said chicken had 4 legs. But it's fine, everyone, because they did go back on their word. As you can see here, obviously a chicken does not have 4 legs, but it took you a second. I'm not sure about you, but after taking about 2 milliseconds to think about it, I actually realised the chicken doesn't have 4 legs. Is that just me? Or have you never seen a chicken before? Bet you'll scran them though, won't you? Following up with Don't Confuse Young, who is Evan Young, who is Sausage, who is the previous partner of Sniperwolf, and they're actually married, which, once again, as I've said previously, they lied about that the entire way through. Brilliant. Repeated statements as truth just because they have some air of familiarity. Most animals have 4 legs, which is why it took you a second. Like, the fact they're even clarifying this, like, what is this? What are we looking at? I'd understand, like, if this was some sort of meme, but this is a literal document that is going to go in court and it's going to be looked at. I can just imagine some, like, 50-year-old lawyer, like, scratching his arse late at night after doing a 74-hour shift and opening up and seeing a chicken has 4 legs in the first page. Repetition does not equate to reality. The court shouldn't fail to prey on the illusory truth effect. People tend to perceive claims as truer if they have been exposed to them before. Don't know about you, I've never been exposed to a chicken with 4 legs. Remember, this is a court document. Finish it off with, Young's claims should have been heard in the family division. And basically, that means that they want to take it to the family court as opposed to what they're currently doing now. Because as I explained in the previous installments of this, Evan Young has essentially sued her for the fact that she has taken some money away from him in the form of sponsorships. She basically did backhand deals. And also she created 2 alt channels which were dubbed in, like, I think it was Spanish and one of it maybe Portuguese, and ended up uploading her videos which were actually part of Channel Red, which, quick side note, this is what the entire thing is about, Channel Red, which is the company that owns Sniperwolf. So they have a 50% stake in each of Sniperwolf, essentially. So basically what they're saying there is, well, because a chicken doesn't have 4 legs, it doesn't mean it's the truth, which worked that one out, and that this should be tried in the family courts division because of the fact they're having a divorce right now. Which you don't have to be an expert to realize that, well, if this is about a business and it's a business that is suing Sniperwolf in the form of Channel Red, why would that have anything to do with their divorce? I know that they're both separated, they were together, but that means nothing here. This is specifically about siphoning money away from Sausage under Sniperwolf's brand, so essentially they're doing it wrong. Obviously this video is entirely my opinion, but I don't think there's any truth to that whatsoever. We then end up going to the kitchen sink, no literally the kitchen sink, where once again they say, oh well, this should be going to the family court, saying that some of the sausage stuff that happened was viable, don't actually explain what here, and also saying that there's a breach of fiduciary duty in related to the waste of community business Channel Red, which essentially means this is relating to the fact that Sniperwolf has taken this money and also trashed the actual account. She's just like disintegrated the amount of money that they're going to be earning because she's damaging the brand. And considering the fact of all that's gone on with the doxing, all of the backlash of the doxing, everything she's done, it makes a lot of sense that she's done that. Also, just a note, in her previous response, she was saying that Sausage is actually the one that has caused a lot of damage to the actual account. But then throughout this, it seems that that's sort of gotten a bit quieter considering the fact that she doxed Jack's films. So I think we're just going to throw the kitchen sink. We then return with the chicken jokes. Moreover, the 4 remaining claims have no legs. I see what they did there with the setup at the start and then the execution in the middle. It's a shame that this isn't in a comedy sketch and is actually in a legal court document. This case is a breach of contract and breach of fiduciary duty case. Everything else is excessive and doesn't fit. Basically there, they're trying to bat off the entire amount of claims that were in the previous allegations in the previous lawsuit from Sausage, just stating that the two that, you know, they can't immediately disprove, they have to stick. Which, bear in mind, at first with Sniperwolf's response, she did throw the entire thing out, so the tack seems to have changed a little bit. Then once again stating this should be in the family division, which I can only presume is to stop the court case actually happening, but it doesn't seem to be working. It then goes on to explain what Young is trying to ask for Sausage, saying that it's claims of waste, and well, by definition, it doesn't seem to be that. In my opinion, she did dissipate the assets, which essentially means that she diverted funds. So she did this with her channels, where she created the Sniperwolf channels, which were in different languages. And then says this, which is just mental. Oftentimes, the family division encounters these issues and engages in an equalization process to rectify the alleged misuse of community property during marriage. And once again, that just means that they're trying to push this onto the family court where they're having their divorce, stating that, oh, this is something that came up because of the marriage. And well, technically, yes, Sniperwolf, you are correct. They're trying to argue that this is because of the fact that they had this marriage, and yeah, that kind of could be true. But at the same time, this is totally unrelated because this is a business issue. Meanwhile, what they're going through now, this messy divorce that they're having, that is a family issue. Just because they're married, it doesn't mean that they're both 50% owners in this business, and then this should be tried as a business. Just because they're not together now and they're having a divorce, it doesn't mean that this shouldn't be tried as such. Seems a bit, in my opinion, an alleged, like an obfuscation of truth. And Sniperwolf, considering her past, her present, and her future, she's not one for that, is she? It just seems they're trying to repeat themselves again and again and again, and they didn't even get a response last time, so I don't think they're gonna get one again. Sniperwolf, in her character that we've seen on YouTube over the past years, has always come across as this character that always tries to get everything from nothing. And she has had preferential treatment in the form of YouTube, but I think she'll end up finding that the courts are a bit different. We now need a little bit more fun, don't we? So back to the hen jokes. Young's factual allegations regarding the element of an alleged third-party contractual breach are as scarce as a hen's teeth. You get it? Zens don't have teeth. So they don't have teeth and they don't have 4 legs. Now you know. He simply points to the formulaic regurgitations of the elements of Shalesh had knowledge of Channel Red's contractual relationship and interfered with them. Well, yes, Sniperwolf, you did understand that Channel Red, your YouTube channel, actually encompassed your entire YouTube channel because that is the business. Where else do you think you were getting all your money from? And also formulaic regurgitations. Well, I've skipped through a few bits in this lawsuit, but it revolves around the exact same thing. This should go to family court. This should go to family court. This should go to family court. Sniperwolf's lawyers could definitely have said this in fewer words. And with a couple less, the earth revolves around the moon and a hen has 47 legs. Just comes across as a bit weird, doesn't it? That said, Young did explain the real basis of the claim by negotiating brand deals behind Young back and then siphoning off the proceeds. Shalesh has diverted contracts from Channel Red for her own benefit. And yes, she did. Siphoned money away and tried to hide it. Unfortunately, this responsive revision of the verified complaint is not what it's cracked up to be. You get it? Egg. Like, oh, I keep going, I keep regurgitating stuff. But the fact that this is in a lawsuit is actually insane to me. Imagine you're in court and someone starts throwing out egg references. Oh, they're cracking me up. A hen has 4 legs, Your Honour. It's quite frankly just embarrassing. It's so weird. And it shouldn't be there. There must have been a pre-existing expectancy or contract that the third party breached to state a claim for intentional interference. And in my opinion, I don't think that's the case. Not that I'm a lawyer. And just specifically to the contract bit, because they're saying a pre-existing expectancy. And yeah, obviously there is a pre-existing expectancy. If some random YouTuber went and downloaded my video and re-uploaded it and got 1 million views off it, I'd be fuming. If they've earned, what, like £47 million off me, and then I get nothing of it because of the fact that they just re-uploaded my video, what? Once again, we see Sniperwolf trying to bend the rules of transformative content, it seems. Oh, it's transformative because I put some dubs on it. I made it en français. Well, yeah, if she thinks that's not how it works. And in the previous lawsuits, it came to say that Shalesh, Elias Shalesh, which is Sniperwolf, didn't have a clue about any of the financial stuff going on or like business stuff. And well, fair enough, but I don't think personally that you can play dumb around this situation, that you didn't have a clue, that if you did something like this and then you went and got a G Fuel contract, signed it, and then took all the money for yourself when your partner owns the other 50%, that isn't wrong. If you didn't think it was wrong, you'd be doing it the entire 10 years before you actually ended up splitting up. The thing is, this entire thing's just making it look so much worse. Regarding money conversion claims, Young's arguments are dumb cluck. Your Honour, I don't know what the cluck you're on about. You're really pecking my food here, man. Once again, how can they think that this is a reasonable response in court? If this does go to trial, which, let's be honest, looking at this, probably is, it's got to be a bit of a head scratcher. There is no reason why the alleged harm cannot be remedied by a payment from Shalesh. And the reason why it can't be remedied is, one, because there's a lot more stuff in that, so you might want to actually reread what he has sent over. But also, I'd be pretty sure that he has asked and you've said no, considering the fact that you put a lawsuit out and you said no, not doing that today. I have a feeling he's already asked and you've said no. So, well, here we are. Then in their conclusion, they decide this entire complaint should be dismissed and tried in the family division. Once again, broken record. Young does not allege any claims distinct to Channel Red, which the entire thing is distinct to Channel Red. The entire fact around this money that has been siphoned away is not because specifically you've siphoned it away in your own pocket. It's the fact that you've not put it into the actual business. So the reason that they've said that it doesn't have any claims towards Channel Red is because they're just saying, oh, well, Sausage, he hasn't had his half. That's it. That's not true, is it? It's because you ran away with the money and you've said no, and now you're in this situation and you're like, oh, we're probably going to lose, so let's make some clucking madness here. Honestly, did she get these on like Fiverr, something like that? I don't know. It's such a sticky one. Furthermore, Young's remaining arguments don't have legs, chicken or otherwise, and certainly not 4 of them. Where are we? What is going on? This is like Big Brother. I'm sorry, you clucking monster, but you don't have any legs to you. You're calling this entire lawsuit a legless chicken. It's just so weird. It's so odd. While alleging everything but the kitchen sink. Can't tell if they're trying to get the word count in or they're just taking the piss here, but it's funny. It's so bad. The court should par the claims down to those that aren't simply rooster games. Nah, I'm starting to think now that it isn't actually a lawyer. It's just an actual comedian that has decided to waste their time doing something like this. The parties can focus on the viable claims rather than running around like chickens with their heads cut off. The implied covenant. So the lawyers were starving. Sniperwolf has looked at this and thought, yeah, go on, send that. That looks good. And from here, this means that there's probably going to be the court that will look at this, well, the judge will look at it and decide whether they're going to send this to court or not. And with the amount of chicken references, can you guess where it's probably going to go? Because I've got my inkling. This entire drama is just, once again, another way that Sniperwolf is just being really weird. She's trying to grab all the money that she can away from Sausage, and considering what he has done in the past, as I'll explain in my previous videos that you can check at the end card, he's done it multiple times where he's like helped her with videos. He's been doing it for years. He faked gameplay for her. He was basically her channel. She was just the face. And when you think about that, the fact that they're trying to get away with, I think it's something like 600 grand because of this. Considering, looking at your ad revenue, the amount of money that you made, bear in mind this lawsuit did come out before she got demonetized, so she was still being tight then. Maybe it's time Sniperwolf just has a think about her actions. It's just another example of Sniperwolf's actions being tied to reality. And there is certain places that you can get away with stuff like this, but once you get to court, typically with these sort of stuff where multiple times you've not provided evidence, you've been very subtle about claims, and now you've got to the point where you're making chicken references. I think there's only one way it's going, but yeah, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please do hit a like and subscribe. I'd love to see you back. Plenty more videos from me, and I'll see you soon. Take care.